Coach, I was kind of aggravating about this after the game the other day. But have you yet mentioned the word NCAA to your team this week?
No. We've mentioned postseason and the potentials, the different type scenarios since June. Really, it's the same thing this week. Just control today. Let's focus on today. Had a good practice today. Went a little bit longer with more physicality, more competition yesterday after a day off. Shortened it up a little bit today, and our guys have been really locked in.
How hard is it?
As needed against a really good Vanderbilt team coming in.
Yeah.
Again, that doesn't always mean you play really well, but we practiced really well, so we've given ourselves a chance with the right approach.
How hard has it been, or has it been with such a young team to keep them focused on the one game at a time type deal like you guys have had? Because it seems like this time be awful easy to kind of look at the bracketology, look at everything, what you got to do, this and that and the other.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time talking about it with these guys. We got a bought-in group. Our two seniors, obviously, we've got a lot of youth, but those two seniors are very, very even keel and very consistent. Our juniors are too. I just think if you look at our roster and you break it down, just individually, we've got a lot of consistent guys. Our three sophomores are a little bit have a little bit more maturity than you would think, for your average sophomore, and they've played a lot of games and started a lot of games. And then you've got Santos come a long way, as a young freshman, and then we've got as consistent a freshman as anyone in college basketball in Asa Newell. So I just think when you add all those individual pieces up, we've just got a pretty consistent team, at least with their approach.
When you talk about two seniors, it's hard to know these days. Those guys playing their last games in terms of eligibility at home. They don't have anything more, right?
No, just last college basketball season, but obviously we hope to play a bunch more games. It's it for those guys. And two guys that I'd like to recognize. She gave me the opportunity. Two guys from Atlanta, from Greater Atlanta, that came back home. They wanted to wear the G in the last go round, and they've been great additions to our team and to our program. And we're proud to coach them, enjoy coaching them. Tyron Lawrence and Dakota LaFew, good players, great people. So we're excited to honor those guys. And you challenge every time you've got a senior day or a senior night, just a little bit more added incentive. Just let's not worry about the outcome right now. Let's not get overly emotional about it, but added incentive to play hard for these guys so they can finish out strong. And remember, looking back, that at least we played well. Not overly concerned with those last couple 4-minute segments of the game. We'll worry about that when it's time. But let's play well for a lot of reasons, but also for these two guys.
Can you talk about each of them, especially having come in, joined the program in the off season, and just what you feel like both of those seniors have brought?
They've been here a while. Now that the NCAA allows you to work with these guys almost year-round, right? It seems like you've been coaching them more than just a season. And we recruited Tyron a couple other times, a couple springs there, or actually just one more time, I guess. When he was in the portal last go-round, and he went back to, coincidentally, the same program that we're about to face. He's a consistent guy. He's a family guy. He's a great teammate. They've got a lot of similarities. Dakota, I could say those same things. They've got a lot of similar characteristics, and they're both, again, very even keel, unflappable on the court. Between the lines, they just kind of who they are. The body language never really changes. Consistent with their work. Great teammates. Dakota's, again, the same way I described Tyron a couple minutes ago. But they've been fun to coach, and they're both talented. They are, and both of them, I think, have a bunch of basketball ahead in their future, in their professional careers.
You mentioned the test against Vanderbilt. Obviously, that's going to be big, but to get this back home, especially after a long road trip, just how big is it for this to be a home game to finish it off?
All your home games you appreciate. We're happy to be back home, but this might have been the one time that we may have preferred to just stay on that road trip because we were playing well and not have that day off. But obviously, playing in the Stag in front of these fans have been great. We've turned it into a good home court environment and advantage. Another opportunity for these guys one more time to play in front of their peers, especially Tyron and Dakota. It'll be a great environment, and we're excited about it. We obviously we hope we play well.
What stands out to you about this Vanderbilt team?
They play hard. They're experienced, they're tough, they're balanced. They can beat you a bunch of different ways offensively with different guys. They play a bunch of different lineups. They can play big, they can play small. They can space you. They're a good cutting team. They're good in transition. They can score in a half court as well. Defensively, they fit with the rest of the league. They're prepared. They're connected. They're physical. Mark's done a phenomenal job in year one, of course. They're a very good team. They're an NCAA Tournament team. It's another great opportunity for us.
You look at them, they're not the biggest team size-wise, but how do you feel like they've overcome that and been as competitive as they have in spite of that?
Physical toughness. They've got some guys that play bigger than they are. They do, and I could reel off a couple. I'd be probably leaving off a couple, but these guys they've got a few guys that are 6'6" to 6'8" that play bigger than that. They just do through, again, their connection and their physicality and just how hard they play. They're talented and tough. Again, they fit in with the rest of these NCAA tournament teams in this league.
Something that some of the players have talked about that week off you guys had before you played Auburn kind of let the team kind of reset a little bit. There's that kind of feeling that they would kind of start over. And even though you lost Auburn, played Auburn tough, and since then this team has really kind of turned around. And Blue is specifically was talking about how he kind of credited that week off to kind of help this team kind of get back on track.
It's a good point by Blue, and he's growing in his role as a program leader, not only modeling what we're trying to do daily in practice and through film and weights and all that stuff, but just he's becoming a little more vocal in practice and stepping up and getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, just stepping out of that comfort zone and speaking up a little bit. So it's a good point by him. Would you rather have the bye week early, in the middle of the SEC, late? You can look at it a bunch of different ways. It fit pretty well for us. I don't know that it's the biggest factor because we did play really well. One of our best performances of the year was in that Auburn loss on the road. I know it ended double figures, but it was right there for us against the best team, arguably in the country. In my opinion, they are. And that's what kind of started it with those couple days where we got to focus that Monday and Tuesday just on us. I do think that helped us. It allowed us to, again, just focus on Georgia for a couple days before we turn it over to the next scout.
When you were hired here, Georgia was coming off a rough season, win-loss record-wise. How much during your conversations with Josh, a quick interview process, did you talk about, or did he talk about making this a program that could be in the NCAA tournament again?
We talked about it immediately. Just being honest, that's when you're in the SEC. And you're operating at a high level, you're going to be knocking on the door year in and year out, and that's what it should be. That's what Josh probably would have challenged any of the guys that he was interested in potentially joining forces with, right? And he's been phenomenal. And we set out to rebuild something, our own way that we'd be proud of, and we take a lot of pride in how far this program's come. If you just look at the metrics, it's incredible what these guys have accomplished over the past couple of years from where we came from. Still a lot of work ahead of us, of course. But this is a good team. I mean, we coach a good team with great guys. They're connected. They continue to work. I mean, I think our worst loss, Mike and I were talking earlier, I think our worst loss on the year is net number 39. I mean, that's a pretty healthy stat. It's a pretty positive stat there. And I think we've played more top 10 teams than anyone in the country. Do we have more losses than we would have liked? Yeah, but we've played some really good teams. We've played an incredible schedule. And we've gotten better throughout the year. And who knows what the postseason holds. But I know we're going to play hard tomorrow. We're going to play with pride, and we're going to have fun playing in front of our fans.
When you're